Hi, today I'm going to continue the pollination. That is what actually in the last video I've already explained that what is the flower, but I did not explain what is the pollination because I told you that flower is totally linked to the pollination. I told the four parts of flowers. Okay, I from that only the video was ended, but now I'm continuing with that parts only to explain you finally what is the pollination. So I'm coming with sepal and petals. I have already explained the last class. Sepal means it is a bud which is covered with a green leaf. Petal you already know. Pistil and stamen. Pistil is also the other name of the carpel, and stamen it is a yellow powder between the flower. It's clear. And this is the male and female part. Okay, it has that content, male and female content, which I explained in the last video. That is why we call this one as a reproductive part. And this is don't have any male and female content, so it will not reproduce. So seriously we call this one as a non-reproductive part. It is non-reproductive and this is its reproductive. Now I am coming with the complete flower. Okay, complete flower. When it is a complete flower, the flower when it has all its four parts. So what are that four parts? Stamen, carpel, petals, and then the stigma. Okay, the all four parts we consider that one as a flower. But so only we call this one as a bisexual. Okay, when the flower has total four parts, I said you that male and female part, what it is there, carpel and this one female part, stamen. Seriously that will not be found in all the flowers. So we can't consider the flowers as a complete flower. Okay, it should contain all the four parts, productive and reproductive parts, both it should come, both it should contain. Then only we consider that one as a complete flower. So the flower has all the four parts, we consider as a complete flower. And it is also bisexual. Bisexual means totally it should be having the two parts, like it should be having the two parts also, like bisexual. Okay, we consider the complete flower, it is always bisexual, it contains all the parts. Okay, so you might be thinking what could be the complete flower. I last time only I had explained you the rose, lily, hibiscus. In this and all you can observe that between the rose petal you have that yellow powder, the center point, both you have. That is why we consider this one as a complete flower. Now I'll tell you that what is an incomplete flower, where you can't see all the parts of the flower. Okay, but actually I know that the petals what it is there and the bud formation what it is there, seriously it will be there. But the male and female reproductive part, that is what we call stamen and carpel, it will be missing. Why it will be missing means, I said you that totally the male and female part you can't see in all the types of flowers. One it will be there, one it will be not be there, like that it will be happening. So we call this one as an unisexual. Means in some of the flowers you can see stamen, in some of the flowers you can see carpel. Means in some of the flower you can see the male part, in some of the flowers you can see the female part. So either one it will be missing. Okay, that is why we consider that one as an unisexual. Bisexual, it contains both. Unisexual, it will contain only one. Okay, you can see in the cucumber, papaya, dates, you can see only one you can see yellow powder, otherwise you can see the center point. In two, one thing can be seen. So that is why we consider that one as an incomplete flower. Okay, now I totally explained what is this pollination. Okay, what is this pollination. Okay, let me come across what is this pollination means. Okay, I can tell you one thing. When there is a flower, seriously there will be one insect there in the flower. Means like for example there is one flower and insect has come and sit on that one. Insect has come and sit on that one means there is one sweet substance. Pollen means I said you that there is a sweet substance, that is what on the stigma, the sticky part, on that you can see this pollen. What it will happen this one means pollen grains. Pollen grains means that yellow powder which will be between that flower, the yellow powder. So what the insect will do means it will come and pick that yellow powder. Okay, that is what pollen grains, the pollen grains which will be like a yellow type. Okay, it will come and pick that yellow powder, yellow thing, pollen grain, which is a very sweet substance. When it come and pick it, that time what means all pollen will get sticked into that insect. Okay, and when that insect will go from one flower to the another flower. Okay, when it goes to one, this one to the another, this one, what it will happen is it will stick to the sigma. See, pollen what it is there, it is like a yellow type. It will go and pick try to pick that one. Once it is getting picked, it will get everything stick to that insect. So when that insect again go and sit on the stigma, stigma is very sticky, we know that it is very sticky. When it goes and sit on that one, that is what we consider. When it goes and sit, suddenly what means this pollen, what that yellow is there, that we call as an anther. I already said regarding when I was explaining the anther, this pollen where it will be that yellow powder, no, that is in anther. So when it goes and pick that one, everything comes and surrounds the insect. And when insect moves from one flower to the another flower and it gets sit on the stigma, the center point, then what it will happen means from here it will get transferred to the stigma, means from the anther, means that yellow powder, from there the pollen will come and transfer to the stigma, the sticky part. So that is what we consider as an pollination. This will be totally done by the insects, okay, bees, that will be doing this. What means, I can tell you again, I can repeat it. There is a flower, in that we have a yellow thing. Insect will go and sit there. When it tries to pick up that pollen, all pollen will stick into that insect, and then the pollen will be shifting with the insect. The insect when moves to the other flower, or it might be the same flower, stigma, the sticky part. Okay, when it goes and sit on that sticky part, that time what it will happen, what the pollen is there, it will stick to that stigma. Okay, so that is what we consider as an pollen. Pollination means transfer of this pollen grain from anther. Anther means yellow powder. Yellow powder to that, it is transferring to the stigma. Okay, that is what we consider as the pollination. Now I'll tell what are the types of pollination. We have two pollination. One is a self-pollination and other one is a cross-pollination. First, let me tell what is a self-pollination. I told you that there is a pollen grain and that is in the anther. Anther means what? That yellow thing. Okay, in that there is a pollen grain. It is transferring. Who is transferring this one? Insect. Insect is transferring this one. From where? From that yellow thing, what the yellow powder, what pollen grain is there, it is transferring to where it is transferring? To stigma. Stigma is what? That sticky thing. When it is transferring the same flower, because in the same flower there will be a yellow thing, between that there is a center point, that is what? Stigma. From that yellow thing, what it is there, the insect is picking that yellow pollen grains and it is sticking that one to the same flower's stigma. Then we consider that one as a self-pollination. Now for example, the insect has sit on the one flower and it has picked that yellow thing, pollen grains, and it is moving to the another flower. In another flower you have a stigma, the center point, and it will stick there. So moving from one flower to the another, we call cross pollination. From same flower, we call that one as a self pollination. So I think totally clear with the types of pollination. Two pollination, the same flower transferring the pollen grains from anther to stigma, it is self pollination. Transfer of pollen grain, that is from the anther to the stigma of the another flower, we call that one as a cross pollination. Now let me come across the last one. It's a fertilization. I think totally clear with the pollination, how this insects will move from one place to another, sticking the pollens to their body, and how they are connecting that one to the sticky part. Now the fertilization. Now what the in the fertilization, what it will happen, the insects, what they have done for that sticky part, they have connected this pollen grains. That sticky part, what it will do means, that pollen grains, what it is there, it has connected to the sticking part, it will totally move to the ovules. You know that in ovary means there is a stigma, then there is one tube. Through the tube it moves, and from that is what we call style. From that finally it connects to the ovary. That ovary has this ovules that will be fusing with the ovules. It will totally connect with the ovules. That time we consider that one as a fertilization. Pollen grain which has fallen on the stigma. Okay, you think that this is a stigma part. Okay, in that the pollen grains has fallen. This is a tube, that is what style. It will go through this tube, and finally this is the ovary. It reaches here. This here we have a ovules, and with that it get fused, and that we consider as fertilization. The process of pollen grains from here fusing with this ovules, we consider that one as a fertilization. I think totally the fertilization is clear now. Here totally we understood one is the pollination and other one is finally the fertilization. Okay, I can tell you that the pollination means the insect is picking the pollen grain, and the pollen grain which is available in the anther, it is picking that one and is moving to the stigma, which is a sticky thing. If it moves to the same flower, we call that one as self pollination. If it moves to the another flower, we call that one as cross pollination. And then once it moves to that flower, it sticks the pollen grain that will move through the tube. It finally fuses with this ovules, that we consider that one as a fertilization. Okay, I think it is totally clear. Okay, watch two videos also. Once you watch two videos, you get the connection for it, so that totally the pollination is totally clear. Thank you.